In the beginning, there was no God, only them. The Sumerian tablets, some of the oldest surviving written records, whisper a story that could rewrite history, a story not of divine creation, but of calculated engineering. These ancient texts describe beings known as the Anunnaki, whose arrival on Earth nearly 500,000 years ago was not guided by celestial grace, but by desperation. The Anunnaki, according to these inscriptions, were advanced entities from a distant planet, often identified as Nibiru. Their civilization faced collapse, and gold, an element crucial to stabilizing their planet's failing atmosphere, was the key to their survival. Earth became their salvation, a treasure trove of the precious metal. But the laborious process of mining presented a problem. The solution? They created a workforce. Using advanced genetic techniques far beyond what we understand today, the Anunnaki reportedly fused their DNA with that of primitive Earth hominids, resulting in a new species, Homo sapiens. Humanity was born not as children of the divine, but as tools. And the evidence is hidden in plain sight. The word Adam, often thought to mean man, carries a darker origin. In ancient Sumerian, Adamuth translates to the worker. Humanity, in its earliest iteration, was bioengineered to toil in the mines, extracting gold for their creators. The supposed Garden of Eden was less a paradise and more a carefully managed habitat where these early hybrids were observed and controlled. But control didn't last. As the numbers of humans grew, so did their capacity for resistance. What followed were acts of suppression and punishment by the Anunnaki, events later immortalized in myths of catastrophic floods and wrathful gods. The story of Noah's Ark, as told in the Bible, bears striking similarities to earlier Sumerian accounts, particularly the tale of Ziusudra, a man chosen to survive a great deluge. Was this flood a natural event, or a deliberate act of annihilation to cull an unruly population? Mainstream academia dismisses these narratives as myth, claiming they're symbolic or allegorical. But why? Could it be that the implications are too monumental to confront? That humanity's sacred origin story might actually be a tale of exploitation. Skeptics point to gaps in the historical and archaeological record, but others argue the evidence is overwhelming: the sudden explosion of advanced knowledge in ancient Mesopotamia, inexplicable precision in early astronomy, and even the unexplained leaps in human evolution. And then there's the gold itself. Why does gold, an element with no essential biological purpose, hold such universal allure across cultures? From the treasures of ancient Egypt to the obsession of modern economies, could this reverence be a faint echo of humanity's original programming? An ancient directive implanted in our DNA, urging us to mine, hoard, and value the very substance we were created to seek? Why does humanity's timeline suddenly jump? What is missing? The story of human evolution, as taught in classrooms, seems tidy, gradual, logical, and uninterrupted. Yet, when we examine the evidence, something doesn't add up. Fossil records, once thought to map a clear progression from primitive apes to modern humans, are full of glaring gaps. Where are the transitional forms that should exist if our evolution was entirely natural? The infamous missing link is not just a gap, it's a chasm. What if the answer isn't that the link is missing, but that it was erased or perhaps never existed naturally? Genetic research provides a chilling clue. Within our DNA, scientists have identified sequences they call junk DNA, which make up about 93% of the human genome. This term implies these sequences serve no purpose, but some researchers argue this so-called junk is anything but random. Could it be that these enigmatic sequences are the remnants of deliberate manipulation, an ancient genetic upgrade by an unknown force? Around 200,000 years ago, something extraordinary happened. Fossil evidence suggests a sudden and inexplicable leap in human intelligence, creativity, and physical capability. Before this, hominids like Homo erectus had existed for millions of years with relatively slow development. Then, almost overnight, Homo sapiens emerged with larger brains, advanced tool-making skills, and even the capacity for symbolic thought and art. This leap wasn't gradual, it was revolutionary. What sparked it? Traditional science clings to evolutionary theory, claiming this sudden advancement was a rare genetic mutation. but many question whether this explanation truly holds up. Evolution operates slowly, through countless small changes over vast timescales. The leap to modern humans was so rapid that it resembles an artificial upgrade rather than a natural process. Now, consider the discoveries that mainstream academia struggles to explain or even acknowledge. For instance, Göbekli Tepe, an archaeological site in modern-day Turkey, dates back over 11,000 years, thousands of years older than the first known civilizations. Its builders possessed an advanced understanding of engineering, architecture, and astronomy long before humans were supposed to have such capabilities. How did hunter-gatherers with no formal civilization suddenly acquire such advanced knowledge? Then there's the skull evidence. Anthropologists have found ancient human skulls with anomalies that defy evolutionary logic. Some show signs of unusually large cranial capacity, suggesting enhanced brain function, while others exhibit surgical precision in modifications that should have been impossible for ancient societies. Critics dismiss these findings as rare or isolated anomalies, but their very existence challenges the linear narrative of human evolution. Further supporting the idea of external intervention is the mystery surrounding human chromosomes. Humans have 23 pairs of chromosomes, while most primates have 24. Chromosome 2 in humans appears to be a fusion of two ancestral ape chromosomes. Scientists claim this occurred naturally, but the precision of the fusion has led some geneticists to question whether it was deliberate, perhaps evidence of ancient genetic engineering. These anomalies all point to the same question: what really happened in humanity's deep past? If an advanced civilization, or even extraterrestrial beings, intervened in our development, it would explain the missing link, the sudden leaps, and the genetic mysteries embedded in our DNA. And here's the kicker: myths from cultures around the world echoed this possibility. Ancient texts and oral traditions, from the Sumerian tales of the Anunnaki to the Native American legends of the Sky People, speak of beings who came from the heavens and altered mankind. Are these mere stories, or fragmented memories of real events? The Church knows the truth, but they'll never tell us. Hidden beneath the opulent halls of Vatican City, in a labyrinth of fortified vaults, lies the Vatican Secret Archives, a place that has sparked centuries of speculation and intrigue. These archives are said to hold thousands of documents that remain inaccessible to the public. What secrets could these ancient texts reveal, and why has the Church gone to such extraordinary lengths to keep them hidden? Some whistleblowers and insiders claim that these archives contain records older than the Bible itself, texts that could rewrite the origins of humanity. Among the most provocative allegations is the idea that these ancient documents describe the intervention of advanced beings, entities the Sumerians called the Anunnaki or similar celestial figures, from a time before organized religion even existed. Could these beings have been humanity's creators, using advanced technology to shape early life on Earth? One of the most chilling theories is that religion, as we know it, was created not to enlighten humanity but to obscure the truth. By framing these beings as gods in religious texts, institutions like the Church could maintain control over the narrative of human origins. If humanity was engineered, as some ancient texts and genetic evidence suggest, the implications would shake the foundations of faith and power that have held sway for millennia. Was the Church's role to preserve this knowledge, or to bury it forever? The secrecy surrounding the archives feeds into these suspicions. Access to the Vatican's secret archives is limited to a select group of scholars with stringent approval processes. Even those who are allowed entry can only request specific documents and are often restricted from photographing or sharing their findings. This extreme control only adds fuel to the belief that the archives contain information so explosive it could destabilize the world's major religions. But the intrigue doesn't stop there. The Vatican's interest in the heavens raises even more questions. The Church operates multiple advanced astronomical observatories, including the Vatican Advanced Technology Telescope, VATT, in Arizona. Why would an institution devoted to spiritual matters invest in cutting-edge space observation technology? Officially, the Vatican claims it's for scientific inquiry, but skeptics believe they're watching the skies for something far more significant, possibly the return of the very beings they've worked so hard to conceal. Adding to this suspicion is the Church's historical relationship with astronomical phenomena. In 1610, Galileo's discoveries about the heliocentric nature of the solar system were famously condemned by the Church, yet today they lead space exploration efforts. Could this dramatic shift indicate secret knowledge they've been safeguarding for centuries? Some theorists suggest the Church's observatories might even be monitoring the mysterious planet Nibiru, home of the Anunnaki, according to Sumerian lore or other celestial phenomena linked to our origins. Even ancient texts held by the Vatican hint at knowledge of advanced beings. Whispers of suppressed Gnostic texts, apocryphal writings, and accounts of interactions with celestial entities have surfaced over the years, often dismissed as heresy by mainstream Christianity. Yet fragments of these stories align disturbingly well with Sumerian and other ancient records of godlike beings who came from the skies. What the Vatican knows, they are not saying. But one thing is certain, their secrecy only deepens the mystery. Could these archives hold proof that humanity's creation was the result of alien intervention? And if so, are they protecting this knowledge out of fear or to maintain their power over a world built on belief? How did ancient civilizations separated by oceans share the same blueprint? The Great Pyramid of Giza, the towering step pyramids of Mesoamerica, and the enigmatic ziggurats of Mesopotamia. These ancient structures, built by civilizations that ostensibly had no contact with one another, share striking similarities, mathematical precision, celestial alignments, and a shape that defies their supposed technological capabilities. Conventional historians explain these pyramids as mere religious monuments, but what if they were something far more advanced? At the heart of this mystery is the sheer sophistication of these structures. The Great Pyramid of Giza, for example, is aligned to true north with an accuracy of just 0.05 degrees, a feat modern engineers would struggle to replicate without GPS technology. Its dimensions encode mathematical constants like pi and the golden ratio. The pyramid's placement, at the center of Earth's landmass, suggests a deliberate attempt to mark a point of planetary significance. Meanwhile, the step pyramids of Mesoamerica and the ziggurats of Mesopotamia exhibit similarly advanced alignments with the stars, sun, and moon. How could societies separated by thousands of miles and years independently develop such precision? The answer may lie in the ancient Sumerian texts, which speak of the Anunnaki, beings from the heavens who taught early humans how to build monumental structures. These texts describe the Anunnaki commissioning the construction of mountains to harness energy from the Earth and the cosmos. The term mountains aligns eerily well with the towering shapes of pyramids and ziggurats. Were these structures part of a global system engineered to tap into energy grids or communicate across vast distances? The purpose of these pyramids might go beyond mere symbolism or worship. Some researchers believe they were designed as power stations. The theory suggests that the materials used, limestone casing, granite chambers, and conductive metals, could have interacted with natural electromagnetic fields to generate energy. This concept aligns with the idea of pyramids being part of a global energy grid, possibly for transmitting power or communication signals, a system that ancient civilizations could not have conceptualized alone. Even their locations hint at a deeper purpose. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the pyramids of Teotihuacan in Mexico, and other major sites are situated along what some call ley lines, hypothetical energy paths that crisscross the planet. Could these sites have been intentionally placed to amplify and distribute natural energies, serving as nodes in a planetary network? The ancient Maya, Egyptians, and Mesopotamians all associated their pyramids and ziggurats with gods or beings from the skies. The Maya believed their pyramids connected the earth with the heavens, serving as a bridge for their gods. The Egyptians referred to their pyramids as vehicles for the pharaoh's soul to ascend to the stars. The ziggurats of Mesopotamia were described as dwelling places for gods who came down from the heavens. Were these cultural interpretations of something far more advanced, an alien technology built for purposes humanity could only frame in spiritual terms? Then there's the question of why pyramids have endured for millennia. Unlike other ancient structures that crumble with time, pyramids seem designed to survive catastrophes, almost as if their creators intended them to remain for future civilizations to discover. Could they be messages left behind, waiting for humanity to decode their purpose and, perhaps, rediscover the technology embedded within? The rulers of Earth may not be as human as you think. Throughout human history, a shadowy web of elite bloodlines has controlled the levers of power, families like the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and European royalty. Their influence extends across governments, economies, and societies, leading many to question how such dominance could remain unshaken for centuries. Some suggest the answer lies not just in wealth or ambition, but in their DNA. What if these families aren't just powerful, they're genetically linked to the beings who created humanity? Ancient myths and religious texts repeatedly describe gods mingling with humans to produce hybrid offspring. The Bible speaks of the Nephilim, described as the offspring of the sons of God and daughters of men. Similarly, Greek mythology recounts demigods like Hercules, born of unions between gods and mortals. These hybrid beings were said to possess heightened intelligence, strength, and longevity, traits that seem eerily familiar when examining the ruling families of the modern world. Could these elites be the remnant of ancient hybrid bloodlines, their power carefully preserved through millennia? One of the most telling signs is the obsession with lineage. European monarchies have long maintained strict rules about intermarriage, ensuring their blood remains pure. This practice is mirrored in other powerful families, who often marry within their circles. The rationale for this inbreeding has always been attributed to maintaining wealth and alliances, but what if the true purpose is to protect a unique genetic inheritance? Some theorists suggest that these families are not merely preserving wealth, they're safeguarding the genetic legacy of their divine or extraterrestrial ancestry. The Sumerian texts, among the oldest written records, describe the Anunnaki not just as creators, but as rulers who governed humanity directly. These beings allegedly granted power to chosen human intermediaries, ensuring their control over Earth's burgeoning civilizations. Could today's elites be the descendants of those intermediaries, entrusted with maintaining order on behalf of their creators? If so, their secrecy and global influence make chilling sense. They are not just leaders, they're guardians of an ancient pact. There are signs that the elites may be privy to knowledge about humanity's origins that the rest of us are denied. Consider their fascination with esoteric symbolism and secret societies. Groups like the Freemasons, the Illuminati, and even elite global summits like the Bilderberg Group are often linked to the preservation of hidden knowledge. These organizations are accused of keeping humanity in the dark while using ancient wisdom to maintain their grip on power. Is it coincidence that so many symbols associated with these groups, like the all-seeing eye or pyramid structures, echo ancient connections to the gods? But the most unsettling theory is that the elite's true purpose extends far beyond mere control. Some believe they are actively preparing humanity for the return of our creators. This preparation could involve technology, genetic experimentation, or even the manipulation of global events to align with their ancient pact. The question remains, when the creators return, will the elite side with them or with humanity? Whispers of genetic manipulation experiments, secretive space programs, and the exploration of artificial intelligence might be part of this preparation. Some even argue that the elites are striving to enhance their own genetics to bring themselves closer to the original creators, ensuring their superiority over the rest of humanity when the time comes. Is this why advancements in fields like CRISPR gene editing and life extension research often find funding from the world's wealthiest families? What are they preparing us for? Over the last decade, the world has experienced an unprecedented shift in focus. Once considered fringe topics, discussions of ancient civilizations, human origins, and hidden histories have taken center stage. Hollywood blockbusters, mainstream documentaries, and even government-sanctioned UFO disclosures are feeding the public a steady diet of intrigue about the unknown. But this sudden openness feels calculated. Could it be that humanity is being prepared for a revelation so profound it would shatter everything we think we know? Some theorists argue that this isn't mere coincidence but a deliberate strategy, a process known as controlled disclosure. The theory suggests that those in power have long been aware of humanity's true origins, but the truth is too destabilizing to reveal all at once. Instead, they opt for a gradual unveiling, conditioning society to accept the unthinkable. Ancient astronauts, hybrid bloodlines, extraterrestrial life, ideas that were once relegated to conspiracy theories are now creeping into mainstream acceptance. Why? The answer may lie in the trajectory of modern advancements. the sudden surge in space exploration is particularly suspicious. Private companies like SpaceX are racing to colonize Mars, while governments around the world, including the United States, China, and Russia, invest billions in lunar bases and asteroid mining. Could this rush be about more than mere exploration? Some suggest it's an effort to rediscover technology and knowledge lost millennia ago, knowledge that ancient texts hint was left behind by our creators. Then there's the simultaneous boom in genetic research. Projects like CRISPR gene editing, synthetic biology, and human genome mapping are breaking barriers at an unprecedented pace. What are we hoping to unlock? Some believe we're racing against the clock, attempting to reverse engineer the genetic modifications that created humanity in the first place. The question is, why now? Are we trying to reclaim our creators' abilities or preparing for their return? And this is where the timeline grows more unsettling. Governments around the world have started to declassify UFO files, admitting openly that there are objects in our skies that defy explanation. These revelations are almost always framed as a security concern, but what if the real reason for disclosure is more extraordinary? Could these craft belong to the same beings described in ancient Sumerian texts and religious scriptures? Are they here already, observing as we inch closer to understanding our true origins? One of the most compelling pieces of evidence for controlled disclosure is the way the narrative is being framed. Mainstream media, which traditionally scoffed at alternative history, is now churning out content that questions established timelines and explores possibilities of ancient alien intervention. Documentaries on platforms like Netflix and major publications now openly discuss mysteries like Göbekli Tepe, the Great Pyramids, and the missing link in human evolution. These aren't just harmless thought experiments, they're seeds, planted to prepare the public for something bigger. Some theorists believe this preparation is a necessity. If humanity were to discover, all at once, that we were genetically engineered by advanced beings or that these creators might return, the societal impact would be catastrophic. Religion, politics, and human identity itself would face existential crises. A slow drip of information, however, allows us to digest the truth in fragments, normalizing the idea before it fully manifests. But there's another, darker possibility. What if this preparation isn't for our benefit, but for control? The powers that be might already know what's coming and are shaping the narrative to maintain their dominance. By controlling the flow of information, they can dictate how humanity reacts when the full truth emerges, whether it's a return of our creators, the discovery of lost technology, or a confrontation with extraterrestrial forces. As the pieces fall into place, a chilling picture begins to emerge. Space exploration, genetic advancements, and controlled disclosure all point to one conclusion: something is coming. The question isn't whether humanity will face this moment, it's when. If humanity was created, what happens when our creators come back? The idea that advanced beings like the Anunnaki created humanity opens a door to questions that are as thrilling as they are terrifying. If they engineered us, their motives and intentions are critical. Were we a grand experiment, a workforce, or something else entirely? And if they left Earth thousands of years ago, why? Was it voluntary, or did something force them to retreat? Stories like the Sumerian deluge myth and the Bible's account of Noah's flood suggest that humanity's creators were not always benevolent. These tales describe wrathful gods punishing humanity for disobedience or overpopulation. What if these aren't myths, but distorted accounts of real events? If the beings who designed us return, would they come as saviors or as masters reclaiming their creation? And here's a question few dare to ask: what if they never left? The possibility that the so-called gods of ancient times have remained on Earth, operating from the shadows, reshapes everything we know about power and control. Could they have disguised themselves as deities, guiding the rise of empires, shaping religions, and manipulating humanity's trajectory? Modern institutions, secret societies, and even governments may be unwitting or willing participants in their agenda. The elite's obsession with lineage and power raises even more unsettling questions. Are the bloodlines of Earth's rulers linked to these beings, chosen to maintain order in their absence? And if so, what orders might they still be following? Could the sudden push for advanced genetic research, AI development, and space exploration be part of a plan to prepare for their return or to secure humanity's independence before it's too late? But if they do return, how would humanity respond? Could our religions withstand the revelation that the gods we've worshipped are flesh and blood beings? Would our technological advancements and nuclear arsenals provide a defense, or would we be helpless against their superior knowledge? History suggests that humanity's creators didn't tolerate rebellion well, and if we've strayed too far from their intentions, the consequences could be catastrophic. Perhaps, though, there's another possibility, one that's equally haunting. If they created us for a purpose, could it be that we've been fulfilling it all along, unknowingly? Our relentless drive to mine resources, expand our technological reach, and explore the cosmos may not be random, it might be programmed. What if humanity's ultimate purpose is to prepare Earth for their return, a task embedded in our DNA, driving us toward goals we don't fully understand? The truth might not be waiting in the stars or buried beneath ancient ruins. It could be within us, coded into our very existence. But what happens when that truth is revealed? Will we welcome our creators as gods or defy them as oppressors? And the most terrifying thought of all, what if their return is already underway? Strange lights in the sky, unexplained phenomena, and government UFO disclosures suggest that the narrative is changing. Are we witnessing the first signs of their reappearance, slowly acclimating to the reality of their existence? The answers might be closer than we think, but the real question is, can humanity handle the truth about where we come from, why we're here, and who might soon be knocking on our door? The clock is ticking. Share your thoughts, spread the word, and stay vigilant before it's too late.